Thank you all for joining us at the mural dedication and the launch to the Dimond Art Plan project, Dimond Public Art Project. Sorry, we debated the names and democratically decided by vote what we'd go with. So it's a project that we're hoping to involve you all in as it grows and evolves over the course of the next year or so, envisioning art for the Dimond District. Today we're also here to acknowledge the completion of our Gateway mural, and I was waiting for April 24th because it's going to get perfect weather and sunshine in order to do the dedication. I know a lot of you have seen it up for a while, but now it's official. Just to see who's all here, if you don't mind, let me just ask for a show of hands, who all are residents in the area? Great. How many artists do we have here today? Beautiful. How about our contributors to the mural? So I just wanted to point you guys out specifically because as much as the community can do to get their hands dirty and make things happen, we do need some contributions, and it shows that sharing some of the responsibility for making these happen, it can get a project like this off the ground and pay for the cost of it as it happening. So just to point a few people out, we have Satpal Singh, who's the owner of our 7-Eleven here. Very generous to get him on board. Quan, her office, was able to come through not only for a financial contribution, but to help make the project happen by connecting us to the appropriate persons. We still don't know who owns this wall, I don't think. I mean, that was 3 months alone before.
Public Works.
How many of you were here 8 years ago? Okay. There used to be a really ugly billboard right there. And the first chance I got to trade a billboard, I got that one taken out. More importantly, there used to be a really ugly motel right there. And it was the 4th crime spot in the city. So part of healing the city is not just getting rid of the bad things, but it's adding the good things. And I know that when we originally proposed affordable housing for seniors, some people were afraid that it would bring the neighborhood down, and that it's actually the better looking of all. If you want a privately owned apartment buildings down the street, none of them look as good or as well maintained as that one over there. And that probably more than anything changed the history of this corner, because we're not looking at crazy people, drug dealers, and prostitution hanging around this corner. And it enabled the Farmer Joe family to get their $10 million loan, because 8 years ago we had an empty, ugly Lucky's that the pigeons loved, and I had to pass a pigeon ordinance because of this. Then La Farine and the beautiful murals on Farmer Joe's, La Farine, the other stores, and we started redoing the neighborhood, but just bringing in retail is not enough. So we've been trying to put in public art and get the community involved for a long time. So if you'll notice over there, there's these little fish tree grates. So everyone knows in the Laurel that obnoxiously commissioned laurel leaves for lots of things. Tree grates, garbage cans, bike racks, the arches, to give the community a sense of place. And when we thought about this sense of place, we really thought that probably the creek was what originally brought people here, what probably brought the Ohlone Indians here, what later brought the Peralta family here, and it brought definitely the German immigrants that opened all the beer gardens here. The creek, and the fact that it's the last creek in Oakland where the steelhead trout still run. And somebody asked, it's the difference between trout and salmon. Well, basically trout don't make it all the way back up anymore, and they become their own breed, and we've actually clipped the fins to make sure that they're genetically Oakland trout. So they are really sort of our canary in terms of whether or not this is a green city, and whether or not we can give part of the city back the way to our children for the next century, the way it was given to us. And we live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. But we're also a home of a lot of artists, and I know 4 or 5 of you here who are artists and who commission different things. And so this mural's part of it. We're going to do a street escape program, and I've commissioned some mosaic wayfinding signs. The merchants group working with us in the streetscape design have commissioned some art that's going to go under the freeway where the parking Caltrans is, and a lot of landscape artists. This used to be pretty much garbage and nothing, and we've added what's Trisha? Christopher, right here.
Yeah.
This is a different kind of artist. She's responsible. I couldn't remember your first name. I'm sorry.
Right.
She's responsible for all these little cute pocket parks, and many of us have all worked to maintain them. And I know people were here on Earth Day doing it. So we are all sort of artists, and we're building this tapestry of a community. And I have to tell you, of all the communities that I represent in this district, and I represent very wealthy ones, I represent very poor ones, this is the one to me that's really grown the most as a community. And the work that we do together in these little projects, and the art and the picnic and the Thanksgiving, and are just watching out after each other. Kathleen's weekly work picking up trash. We build community with all the tools, and in this community, because of our rich history with the arts, we're really using arts as one of those tools to build community. And I really think that this is one of the communities that when I'm walking East Oakland and neighborhoods where there's a lot of crime or there's a lot of poverty, I would tell them, this corner was the fourth worst crime spot. If we can bring ourselves together, if we can organize ourselves together, we can do anything in the city. And so I'm going to talk obnoxiously about the Dimond over the next 6 months because of all the different elements we brought together. But I really want to thank the DIA for working with us to do this, and that's why, you know, there are poppies and fish. I said it had to be fish. There had to be fish everywhere and things I'm commissioning, because I've been so proud that we've been able to keep the steelhead trout alive, and I think that's the symbol of the city, of taking care of the city and continuing to be one of the top green cities. So I'm going to end it here. I want to thank everyone for really making the Dimond one of the best communities. I really do mean a community, a place where we have friends, where we can raise our families, where I know I want to age in place. Literally, this is one of the best places to age in place probably in the world. So thank you, Daniel. Thank you, DIA. Thank you, Merchant.
First, I think I'd like to thank everybody in this neighborhood for really pulling it together. Like, I just walked by and saw this wall and saw Kathleen. She helped me start getting everything rolling, and I mean, there's just been so many people who have helped out. And we've actually had seniors from the center over there come and help paint. We had youth from Champion Street, which is where I lived when I was painting this. Now I live over the Laurel. But we had youth from the street. Unfortunately, they've all moved, so they couldn't come out here today. Laurel Ace Hardware donated about $200 worth of paints to make this happen, which is just really fantastic. So if you're ever looking to go to a hardware store, I highly recommend them. Also, just the city of Oakland in general for being so supportive of the arts. It's really the only city in the country that allows this to happen, and with, you know, institutional and educational budget cuts with the arts, it's so important that we as communities can provide alternatives to violence. And, you know, a lot of the kids who are involved in this, they may be in gangs if they weren't out here painting. You know, they may be getting involved in other activities, and this is an opportunity for them to not only build something beautiful and express themselves, but to also, you know, gain pride in their communities. And so I want to thank everybody for this.
Yep, pull. All right, we ready? Oh, stand. All right.
Yes.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
On my head.
Okay.
Beautiful. Join the group.